Good morning, my darlings. Welcome to a new vlog. It's a really beautiful morning at the moment. I don't think it's gonna stay beautiful today, but I'm enjoying the most gorgeous view of the fields. It looks so very autumnal. I cannot believe this is the last time that I'll be speaking to you in October. It's November this weekend, and I don't feel that I'm ready for November. I feel like autumn is such a precious time, and it looks and feels so beautifully autumnal right now. And I just know the second we hit November, people are bringing out the festive videos. It's socially acceptable to put your Christmas tree up in November. All the shops will go, like the Halloween stuff will be out as soon as the clock strikes midnight, and the Christmas stuff will be in. And I know I'm part of this. I know that, well, I mean, you guys have seen the title of this video, but yeah, it does feel like it gets earlier and earlier every year. And I've said this before, that my birthday is at the end of November, and when I was younger, there were no signs of Christmas during my birthday at the end of November. How bonkers is that? Whereas now it's like middle of October and people are getting ready for Christmas. It's crazy. With that in mind, I am going to be doing a little bit of kind of preliminary Christmas shopping today with my mum in Oxford. It's our nearest kind of big city. Big city, it's not even that big. It's a charming city, and I'm really looking forward to just having a little mooch around. Nothing particularly on my wish list, maybe one or two little bits, but just seeing what's about, having a little mooch. It's been a while since we had a little mooch, and I think it's a really lovely time of year to do that. I'm heading to Pilates first. It's on my way, which is perfect, and all I'm popping on my skin is a little bit of serum. This is the 𝑭𝒂𝒐 Pro Collagen Rose Micro Serum. Lovely and hydrating, very, very calming. Hydrating enough that I don't need a moisturizer. Yeah, love it. Popping the remnants on the backs of my hands, although I am just going to brush through my eyebrows as well. So yeah, going from Pilates to Oxford. And then if I do pick up any Christmas gifts, I might even pop on a Christmas film and wrap them, because I don't want what happened last year when I end up doing all the wrapping on Christmas Eve. That was very, very stressful. So I know I've just said about Christmas getting earlier and earlier every year, but let's just say something very exciting is coming to our blog on the 1st of November. So make sure you're following me on Instagram, because I will be sharing what that exciting thing is at about 8 AM on the 1st of November, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, my darlings, I'm gonna hop in the car, get to Pilates, and I'll catch up with you when we are in Oxford. Let's go. Okay guys, seeing as you're going to be watching this just before Halloween, hopefully my camera will focus in a second, we are coming up to Traitors Ford around the corner. It's where there's basically a river running through the road. You'll see it in a second. There's the bridge, and this apparently is incredibly haunted. People have said that driving through Traitors Ford at dusk, they see the ghost of a monk standing in the water. I have never had a ghostly experience here. Well, I mean, do you remember when that horrible thing happened? Okay, I have got 5 minutes extra time this morning, so I thought I would just really quickly stop on my way to Pilates at a place that I have brought you to before, but it feels really appropriate seeing as we're very nearly at Halloween, because this is one of the areas of the Cotswolds that is possibly maybe one of the spookiest and most certainly most shrouded in legend, and it is the Rollright Stones. Us Cotswoldians like to say that this is the Cotswolds answer to Stonehenge, because we are very much on the ley lines, on the meridians around here. There is a definite energy in the atmosphere around here, and on Halloween, we came a few years ago on All Hallows Eve, and pagans and druids that live in the area, or the local area, they come and they do a few kind of ceremonies and like marching around the stones. But let me go and show you the Rollright Stones, and then I will tell you some of the legends. Okay, so here we are. We are going to follow the sign to the King's Men. And this stone circle here, these are the Rollright Stones. So the legend has it that in medieval times, the King of England came here with his men and he met a witch. And the witch said to him, if you can see the village of Long Compton, then I'll spare you your life. But if you can't see it on top of the hill, I will turn you and your men into stone. And the king confidently said, of course I'll be able to see it. So he went up to the top of the hill, but then the witch created a mound of grass in front of him, so he could no longer see it. So sticking to her word, she turned the king, and the king's stone is over the other side of the hedge, actually on our friend's farm, and his men into stone, and the stone men remain here to this day. There's another legend that it's actually impossible to count the number of stones here, but if you can count them correctly or get the same number 3 times in a row, then your heart's desire will be granted. So there we go. You can see the ground is quite well worn on the inside, and that's because I don't know if the technical term is druids, but I'm pretty sure it is. They come and march here on the solstices, the summer solstice and the winter solstice, and on All Hallows Eve they march round and round in circles, stomping on the ground. They do the stomping on Halloween, and I'm sure it's because they said that they believe that on All Hallows Eve, the gap between Earth and the other world is at its narrowest, and by stomping on the ground they can send the vibrations through to the underworld or to the spirits, and that's their way of communicating with them. So there we go, a little Cotswold spooky legend for my Halloween vlog. We're starting in the shopping centre. I have actually never been into the Westgate shopping centre before. It's huge, but around this corner is John Lewis, and we are on the hope to find some of the deliciously 𝑭𝒆 freezer containers. How exciting. Yes, it's full Christmas mode here in John Lewis. I don't feel quite so bad about my Christmas decor ordering. And of course, still lots of Halloweeny bits. That's quite cute. That'd be nice to serve a pudding in. This is a very cute Christmas section. They've got all of these silicone molds. That would actually be so nice for cakes. Not sure about the little houses, or if you wanted to do some chocolates or something. Got the cookie cutters. That'd be sweet for children. I do actually need some silicone muffin tins for my little breakfast egg muffins. I'm sure they must have some of those here. Yay, this is exactly the range that I was looking for. Deliciously 𝑭𝒆 with John Lewis. She has got such a cute little selection of goodies. Look at these radish salt and peppers. She's got the cute little tea towels, salt and pepper pinch pots. But what I was looking for, let's see, I think they might have them down at the bottom here somewhere. Oh yeah, here they are. So I want to get into a better habit of batch cooking, and these are the silicone food storage cubes. So if I make a lasagna, I mean that's a bit of a weird shape for a lasagna, but I can just put some little portions in here, freeze them, and then defrost them when I want to snuffle them. Perfect. I guess for children's food as well, baby food, that would be perfect. They're a nice colour as well. I think Charlie will approve. We're just deciding which is the best configuration, because some of them are actually quite small. Yeah, I've got a couple of those because I think that'll be the most useful.
I'll get one of these for Jay then.
Yeah, and then I've actually just got something similar to this, so I don't need it, but this is quite clever. It's a stainless steel, I think there's 3 different sizes.
Of course, you can't put that in a microwave.
No, that's true. So Jamie needs glass ones for the microwave, doesn't he? If anyone's still in the market for a Stanley, my goodness, we've got so many here. I quite like this colour combo. The dusky pink on the lid.
They've got a little handle on them.
Yeah. Would Jay take a big hot drink to work with him? Oh, they're nice as well. The tumblers look. Very nice. So many trees. Oh my goodness me. Christmas is well and truly here. also very festive in Anthropologie with the garland going up the stairs. It's a really tiny Anthropologie store, but they've got some very cute bits. I always love seeing their Christmas crockery. I always find their Christmas candles a little bit too sweet though, but that is so nice. I love the green dome. Do you know what? I'd really like a nice incense holder to keep a lookout. That is so cute. We're playing a game of is it a sausage dog or is it a reindeer? Because they look quite similar on some of these things. I think that's a sausage dog. Do you fancy a gingerbread shot glass? Could be quite good for a strong eggnog. I think bows and Ralph Lauren Christmas are going to be the two huge trends this year. They've got these ginormous bows here. That could actually look really cool on our archway outside. Do we think Charlie would ever allow it? Possibly not. New York City Ballet x Anthropologie. What a lovely collaboration.
What ballet?
New York City Ballet x Anthropologie. I like the green colour inside. Definitely a bow-themed Christmas this year. Have to say, I think I prefer the 𝑑𝒉𝒂𝒕 glasses with the white and red candy cane around the top. Cute little gingerbread plates and bowls and mugs. Oh, the Christmas mugs. Don't tempt me. How adorable for a little mini gingerbread loaf. So cute. So we are in the central courtyard for, I believe, Oxford University's libraries. We were just saying it shows how short people were, so Lala and I would have been absolutely fine, because the doors are all quite small but beautiful. But look at this building. All of these corridors are different themed libraries. So this one is the, I think that means languages, geometry, grammar and history. There's philosophy around the corner, veterinary school. I don't think you can mooch in as a non-student. Is this really naughty? I don't know. Staff room. Oh, I'm too scared. Look at this, these big old wooden doors that the students go through to get to their classrooms. It is literally like something out of a movie here. So magical. Master gave Dobby a sock. This has got to be the most old-fashioned Pret cafe in probably the world. We were just saying this building is probably 1,000 years old, which is just bonkers, isn't it? My goodness. Nice one, Pret. Dogs everywhere this Christmas. How cute! A dozen dapper dogs in Hotel Chocolat. The Jolly Penguin. It's like a Christmas version of an Easter egg. How cute! These are sensational. I've had mixed boxes before. Some favourites. Raspberry smoothie, strawberry smoothie, and these little lemon creams. Oh my goodness. They are so good. Going to try all three of the pistachios for research purposes, of course. Now this looks really beautiful. They've redone the 𝑭𝒂𝒕. That looks gorgeous with the wooden handle. Fun fact, Charlie and I sat next to the founder of Hotel Chocolat and his wife when we were on our way to the Maldives last year. They were a very lovely couple. Okay, this may shock some of you, but I've actually only ever been to HomeSense once before, and that was, I think, in Croydon. I think it was when we just got the Mazda, and I was really excited for a road trip, so I drove down to... No, I got the train! Gosh, so it was pre even the days of us having a car. So let's see if they've got any goodies. Okay, starting off with Christmas, of course. They've got lots of little cookie cutters. I think I've got plenty of these though. Spoilt for choice if you're in the market for a wooden chopping board. This is quite cute. We've got glass bakeware with lid. That's clever. I guess if you tend to eat things and then save it for lunch the next day. Nice to cook in the glass as well. Little mini pans. That's really clever. It's a rolling pin, but it's got the Christmas pattern on it. So you could get a Christmas print on your cookies. That's genuinely quite a cute little gift idea for a gardening lover. Yeah, a little kneeler and trowel set. And then they've got, I have to say the quality of these is not very good, but they've got quite a few seasonal wreaths. If you're like Charlie and I and tend to overcook at Christmas parties, this is quite a fun idea. You could send your guest home with a little bento box, or they call them treat boxes, with the holly and the tartan on. And these are quite cute, little old school bowls for your Christmas baking. If this is the only thing I buy, it's going to be terribly boring. However, this is exactly what we need at home, because our old one has broken. Ooh, look at all these amazing pastas. Oh my gosh, love the little paw print ones. Pumpkin risotto. Yum. These are very similar to the little glasses we saw in Anthropology earlier. Probably a fraction of the price. We found some Ralph Lauren Home. They've got some ivy tablecloths. I think this is like 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, where they make things just for HomeSense. I don't think these would ever actually have been sold in Ralph Lauren. A little bit of marketing cheekiness. My goodness, it's where water bottle dreams are made. Look at this one. Little Mermaid pearl water bottle. That's actually really cute. Wow. Nigel! What's Nigel doing here? These are quite smart actually. Very nice. I like the white one. Oh, he's rather lovely. He's not a nutcracker, he's a king. But he is rather lovely. Oh, I think Freddie would approve of these. In fact, I'm pretty sure Freddie's got a couple of these little fellas. But has she got a pink Santa? That's the question. These are really similar to the nutcrackers that we get in Burford Garden Centre, and I bet they are a fraction of the price here. Look, imagine if we had a giant Father Christmas at the bottom of the stairs. How cute. These are quite nice, labelled as Ralph Lauren Home as well, with the ceramic bases. Just switch in a... Actually, the shade is quite nice as well. It's like a linen. Yeah, I like that. Pretty. A little bit more Ralph Lauren Home. I do quite like this ivy pattern. We need something a little bit more old-fashioned at home though. That looks like an 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, Swiss 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, and the classic tartan. Don't you think that looks a bit like... I know it's poinsettia, but it looks a bit 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅-y. Yes. Very cute. Okay, this may be the most exciting HomeSense haul you have ever seen on YouTube. I bought 2 packs of 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 bath salts because these were £3.50 instead of £6. Magnesium I thought would be really good before bed. Apparently you have to soak in the tub for at least 20 minutes for anything to actually sink in. And then this one is 100% natural bath salts with white willow, eucalyptus and arnica. So probably quite a good one for after workouts. Same price. I saw this Dr. 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 on the way out. It's a multi-purpose lip balm. Thought that looked like quite a nice colour. Wow, RRP £16.50. Golly, our price £6.99. And then I got the colander. World's most boring HomeSense haul. But I did find most of the stuff in there, just the quality wasn't terribly good. I think once you have started shopping in antique shops and get used to the quality of old things, then you're a little bit more sensitive to, honestly, the rubbish that is made these days, don't you think, Lola?
Dreadful.
Nothing is made like it used to be.
There was a lot of
Clack. A lot of things that just don't need to exist. Like, who goes to a factory and says, I know, let's make a magnifying glass, but hang on, let's not have a normal handle, let's have a crocodile as the handle.
silver.
Silver crocodile. Very, very silly. But anyway, I've got my... Where is it? Oh no! Oh no! Ugh. Got my cardamom bun from 𝑭𝒉𝒻 that I'm finally going to snorkel, along with my lemon and ginger tea that is still hot from this morning, and we are homeward bound. Okay, I've just got home and a little bit out of breath because I've just come all the way up to the top of the house because Charlie has arranged for something really fabulous, and I think this has been in the planning for a really long time and it's finally here. So let us show you essentially our new guest bedroom. This is really exciting.
It's not quite fully finished.
Wow, darling, it looks amazing. Do you want to explain to everyone what this is?
We're 75% finished because obviously we're still waiting for a mattress.
So
And then we
cozy.
need to obviously get the bedding and stuff done. So this is, for people's benefit, this is one of our attic bedrooms at the top of the house, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's one of our guest rooms, not our main guest rooms. But in the long run, hopefully when we have children, I think, to be honest, this will probably become one of our main guest rooms.
My
Because
camera
the
is
two-
not loving how dark it is in here.
It is quite dark in here. I've often thought about how we could bring more light in, but I don't know. I think.
Oh, it's
yeah.
so
Cotswold Bed
beautiful.
Company, which is a family-run business, they made us a bed for Strawtop number 2.
Yeah.
And that's on the top floor at Strawtop number 2. And this is using Morris & Co. fabric, or is it
Wow.
Sanderson fabric? I don't know if they're obviously the same group. It's
So did
either-
we choose this fabric?
Yeah, so it's either Sanderson fabric or Morris & Co. fabric. I have to check that. Cotswold Bed Company, they're based in, their head office is Elkstone Studios, which is near Coombe.
Like right by Coombe.
We'll get some much better photos
This
and
is
video.
gorgeous. I'm going to have to show you tomorrow when there's daylight because it doesn't really show it, but how beautiful.
And they're great. I mean, they do a lot of upholstering and make a lot of beds. I mean, they've been doing huge projects recently in Dubai. They've been doing huge projects in London. But they're based in Cheltenham, their factory. We want to do something similar, shape-wise, with pink floral in the pink room, don't we?
Yeah.
But imagine a king-size headboard like that.
Yeah.
But
Well,
this
that's
headboard
really
will
cool.
be slightly higher up than it is now, I think.
Why?
Because it's getting fitted. At the moment, it's not fitted. It's just leaning against.
Oh, I see.
We had a slight miscommunication on. I wanted to fit it into the beams, but they basically said, to be honest, it's better to fit it into here, but they need certain fittings.
I
so
see.
Come back, and then we'll get the mattress in. I think the debate in here then becomes, because we used to have this wooden unit here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I almost think we just want to get 2 little small armchairs.
Oh, that would be
sit
cute.
At the end.
That would actually be
But they
more
need to
useful for
be
our guests, I'd say.
small.
But don't we store stuff in there?
Not really. We've got plenty of room for storage,
No.
and I think that was maybe, it's maybe not necessary.
Well, it looks lovely.
So yeah.
Well done, darling.
So
Nice
it's gonna
work.
be good. It'll be great when it's fully finished. But
Yeah.
the room's been painted, by the way.
Yeah,
So this is 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 pea green.
love that.
Too much green.
No, we love green.
No, we love green. But I think,
Very
we'll have
cosy.
to debate. We'll see what people think. I mean, obviously, it's hard for people to fully visualise till a mattress and the bed's there. But I think
Yeah.
for guests, it's nice to have 2 little small armchairs that would sit
Yeah,
there.
I think that'd be really cozy.
Rather.
Yeah, I'll show you again when
it's
we've
light.
got the mattress and the bedding and it's light, but there we go.
Coming together.
It looks gorgeous. Well, isn't this a cozy setup? I just lit the fire. Could not wait to get my pajamas on this evening. My trousers were a little bit itchy, I'm not gonna lie. They were wool trousers, and these are new pajamas from Holland Cooper, and I just think they're absolutely gorgeous. Could not wait to get these on. And I am about to do something totally bonkers. I'm gonna start doing my Christmas wrapping. I know it's absolutely bananas, I will admit it. And I have never, ever, ever, I don't think I've ever done Christmas wrapping in November before, let alone December, but there are 2 reasons why I want to get cracking with it right now. Number 1 is because last year, I did not do the bulk of my Christmas wrapping until Christmas Eve, which is quite honestly the most stressful day, second most stressful day of the whole year in this household. So why, oh why, did I decide to leave Christmas wrapping until then? Second reason, so my reason being, let's just get it done. Let's just do it small doses every couple of weeks, just do a few Christmas presents, and then it'll take the stress away closer to Christmas. And the second reason is because I am very organised and have got the perfect gifts for a few very special people in my life. If there is one brand that friends, family members, loved ones will say is on their Christmas wish list, it is always, without fail, 𝑭𝒂𝒐. Always 𝑭𝒂𝒐. Everybody wants 𝑭𝒂𝒂𝒐. It is beautiful, luxurious, high quality skincare with a premium price tag, so it's lovely to receive it as a gift. And they do the most amazing Christmas gift sets. So, as a huge 𝑭𝒂𝒂𝒻 fan, I love to gift it to loved ones that have either, they already know and love it. Charlie's dad, the Pro Collagen Day Cream SPF 30 is his favourite, so I've got him a gift set including that one. It is not just the ladies, even though the Pro Collagen range, I mean, men want anti-aging as well, don't they? I know Charlie does, he won't mind me admitting, but obviously the Pro Collagen range is just an icon, a global mega multi-bestseller. It is so incredible for those that want the anti-aging benefits, but also the glowing skin, the incredible ingredients. What do they say? Inspired by nature, backed by science. I feel like that might be a slogan. But they also do slightly smaller gifts as well. Hey Dexy, I just thought this was a slightly too high jump for you. Apparently nothing is too challenging for Dexy. So if you guys pop near an 𝑭𝒂𝒂𝒻 boutique, the one on Monmouth Street is my favourite in London, and it's so glorious to go there for some spa treatments. If you are planning an intense day of Christmas shopping in London, I would highly recommend booking yourself maybe as like a 2 p.m, 3 p.m. treat to go to the Monmouth Street 𝑭𝒂𝒻 boutique for a speedy treatment. Just the way that they massage you, the products that they use, it's so good. And they've got the 𝑭𝒊𝒅 machine, which is slightly petrifying but also incredibly amazing to see. It goes into the different layers of your skin. It can see sun damage, it can see aging, but they also make incredible recommendations based on the results. Anyway, if you go into somewhere that sells 𝑭𝒂𝒻, smell their candles. Smell the candles, they are so good. I chose my favorites here. This one is Fireside. It's called Townhouse Fireside, spiced cinnamon and vanilla scented candle. It's glorious, and they're also beautiful as well. Really chic, clean, quite minimal. Oh my gosh. Oh, the clove. Is it clove? Oh, I feel like that's got clove in it as well as cinnamon. And a certain someone that we know is moving house very soon, so I think a candle for a moving house gift. And then this one is called British Wilderness with rose, black hemp and patchouli. Bougie British Wilderness. I love that. I know that I probably mention this every single time I mention 𝑭𝒂𝒻, but I love that it's a British brand. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. That's a little bit more fresh. The other one's more like classic Christmas. This one is more fresh, frosty mornings, that kind of thing. Love that it's a British brand, and I love that where possible they source their ingredients right here in the UK as locally as possible. Where they source their rose oleo oil is actually seconds walk from the house that I grew up in. I couldn't believe it when I found that out. That was really special. We actually worked with 𝑭𝒂𝒻 after Charlie and I got married, and we got to go to the farm and see where the roses are grown and harvested and dried and turned into the oleo extract. Because my favourite, is this the rose range? I think it is, yes, Enchanted Rose Duo. It is my favourite range from 𝑭𝒂𝒻, so to be able to see that like ingredients from my favourite skincare were literally grown meters from where I lived from 0 to 18. How cool is that? So if you also love the Rose collection, it has all of the benefits of the classic cleansing balm, the classic marine cream, but with rose as the most incredible scent, but also rose is known for its calming benefits on the skin, then this would be an amazing gift set for that person. The packaging that they've gone for this year is just so elegant. You've got this little bit of silver detailing which gives it such a luxurious finish. This is all FSC certified recyclable paper. They don't use unnecessary plastic, so they're really thinking about how they can make it as sustainable as possible. And another benefit of the gift sets is the incredible savings that you always get. So for example, this one is worth £97, but RRP is £67, so a 31% saving on the Enchanted Rose Duo. If you know someone who maybe uses the Pro Collagen Marine Cream, this beautiful rose Pro Collagen Marine Cream every single day, but maybe they've not tried the cleanser yet, then how lovely to get them this set where they can experience both. Or maybe you know someone that is looking to start investing in slightly more luxurious skincare. They're starting to have a little bit of chat about thinking about anti-aging within their routine. I would say, I mean, I actually got a little bit annoyed the other day because I had an inbox come into my email. Bless you, Dexy. I mean, email come into my inbox, and it was talking about how the ideal time to get baby Botox apparently is age 25. I actually disagree with that. I did... Excuse me, Mummy is not playing. Mummy is chatting. Mummy is chatting. We'll play later. We will. We'll play later. I did get Botox when I was 30, up to and including the time of our wedding. As you might be able to tell by the amount that my face moves, I don't get it anymore. I don't feel like I need to, honestly. I'm so happy with my skincare, my LED, the products that I'm using. But yeah, this, sorry, Dexy's trying to get my attention. Yeah, this email said you should consider getting baby Botox from the age of 25. I completely disagree. Why was I even saying that? Oh, I think the ideal time to maybe start thinking about skincare that contains anti-aging benefits would be around 25. I don't think you need to think about it any earlier. But 𝑭𝒂𝒐 have got other ranges, beautiful oils and things for younger skin, but I know that most of you guys are of a more mature demographic, so I'm thinking for mums, for sisters, for friends. Yeah, hopefully you get what I'm saying. It's a luxurious skincare range. Children don't need luxury skincare. They don't. I know a 16-year-old girl who would just absolutely love to receive this, and I'm sure she uses really bougie skincare, but honestly, when I was 16, I think I was just using water to clean my face. Anyway, for those that absolutely love the cleansing balm, this is the Balm and Bright Trio. So you get 3 of the cleansing balms. Again, a 30% saving on this, which is incredible. You could also just buy this for yourself as a top-up. I think that's a really lovely idea. But there's just something so special about receiving these as gift sets. As always, 𝑭𝒂𝒐 do some mega sets as well, and in my humble opinion, the best one to be giving or receiving this year is the magic of Pro Collagen. This is a 40% saving on the RRP, and inside, I'm going to have to read it to you. You get the Pro Collagen complete skincare range, the cleansing balm, the energizing marine cleanser, which by the way is amazing to use in the shower, the Future Restore serum, which whenever I get one, Charlie always steals it. This is completely unisex. The hydrating Pro Collagen marine cream and the Pro Collagen night cream. This is just kind of like the ultimate fail-safe set because everything in here is something that people absolutely go wild for. It's all the classics, all the favorites. I think the packaging is just so beautiful what they've done this year. Whoa! The marine cream is a super size. You know, sometimes you open up these sets and everything's a little bit dinky. Not with 𝑭𝒂𝒐, they're so generous. This is a super size of the marine cream, a special size of the night cream. We've got the classic of the serum, full size for this cleanser, which we use in the shower, full size of the Pro Collagen cleanser. This is the dream. You know, what a way to kickstart the new year. And I know that none of our brains are in new year mode just yet, but what a way to start the new year than with just the most incredible full selection of Pro Collagen skincare. So I'm going to leave all of these amazing gift sets linked down below. Have a little look on the website because I've just mentioned, in fact there's one more here, I've just mentioned 1 or 2, Day and Night Wonder Duo. Oh, this one is the one that I have earmarked for Charlie's dad. Pro Collagen Marine Cream SPF 30 and the Pro Collagen Night Cream. So literally day and night covered with this one. Depending on obviously your budget, how much of a deal you want to get. Did I say that this mega set is 40% saving, which is wild. And how much you know the recipient. Like if you're not too sure what they use skincare wise, I would say that the Balm and Bright Cleansing Balm Trio would be a really good option because everyone loves the cleansing balm. But if you know that they love a little bit of Pro Collagen, then this would be the set. But they have got so many. They've got some specifically for men, specifically for travel, specifically for Rose, specifically for Pro Collagen. So I'll leave the 𝑭𝒂𝒐 gift shop linked down below, have a little look and join me in being organised ahead of Christmas 2025. How bonkers. So those are some of the goodies that I am going to box up right now. I have already decided who is going to be receiving each of these gorgeous gifts, and I placed an Amazon order a couple of days ago, and let me show you what I got, because this is the first glimpse into my Ralph Lauren Christmas. I'll leave a couple of graphics on the screen here which show my kind of vision boards and my shopping lists, and I'll leave them as LTKs down below so you can shop exactly what's on these two graphics here. But yes, I did place an Amazon order with the first few bits that will subtly lead us into having a Ralph Lauren Christmas. So first of all, tartan. I'm going to be wrapping my gifts in craft paper, as I always do, because just like the 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 gift sets, it's recyclable. And the ribbon is of course reusable. You can also just reuse your classic white linen napkins that you use every single year and wrap them up with a tartan bow, and that's going to add that little bit of cozy Ralph Lauren-ness to your table. So never one to just get one of something. I also got some tartan ribbon with a little bit of gold in it. I think this one is wired, so this will be really good for doing beautiful bows. Speaking of bows, I did actually buy a set of pre-made bows, and I don't know if I'm going to pop these on the Christmas tree or on wine glasses or on gifts, but they've got a very thin little wire at the back here, so they'll be really easy to add on to things. I think they could make gifts look just absolutely gorgeous. And then this is a deep emerald green ribbon. Again, maybe I'll use it on the tree. We are going to do, as usual, a big garland down the stairs, but I'm wondering this year maybe to actually use an artificial garland and then just add in natural elements like pine cones and berries and give it a natural feel but have an artificial base, because I'm not gonna lie, it's expensive to ask a florist to help make a real one every single year, and we have to vacuum the stairs multiple times a day, and every morning I skewer my feet on little pine needles. So I thought all of those problems would be solved if we had an artificial garland, and Balsam Hill really do very, very good ones. We've got a big Christmas tree from them and I know that they do a good job. What's in here? I'm gonna get some scissors and put another log on the fire. Okay, I'm going to start a little wrapping station down here, right in front of the fire. Okay, this is a set of gold candle holders. I thought it'd be really nice to get some varying height candle holders so that we can have, you know, like not all the same varying height of candles throughout the dining table, and these are just a classic gold. I think they'll look even better once they're a little bit bashed up. They've got wax melting down on them, but there's 3 of these in different heights inside here, so I'll set those up later. Oh my gosh, I forgot that I ordered these. Okay, this will be interesting to see if these are any good or not. I'll give them a steam tomorrow and I'll show you, but I thought these could potentially be, oh my gosh, they're like double thickness. I have never known lined pajamas before. They're literally like 2 or 3 layers. How very, very strange. But they are tartan pajamas with fluffy cuffs. How cute is that if we're going full Ralph Lauren Christmas? I know Ralph Lauren don't even make tartan pajamas, but it's the vibe that we're seeing everywhere. So I will steam those and try them on for you tomorrow. But there we go. I am now going to see if I can find my craft paper and start wrapping. How fun. It's the perfect evening for it. It's dark, it's rainy, it's cold outside, but the fire is lit. And pop something nice on the TV and have a cozy Christmas gift wrapping evening. Have I gone mad? Yes. Will I be grateful for this in December? Yes. Okay, my darlings, I'm sneaking upstairs while Charlie makes the dinner. And sorry, this lighting I know is absolutely awful. What I did last winter is I bought one of those little TikTok lights, you know, the ones that keep coming up on TikTok shop. I bought one of those up into the bathroom, which illuminated my evening skincare chats. So I might go and get one of those for next time. But I just can't really be bothered to go upstairs to get one now. If you thought the lighting was interesting in the last clip when I was downstairs, I did actually buy another light from TikTok shop, and that was like quite a big one that illuminates an entire room. I never like how artificially lit shots look, but you just kind of need it at this time of year because it's so dark and our house is very dark. So there we go, but it feels so good to have made the smallest little early dent. Ooh. Sneaky, I have decided to keep the cleansing balms because Charlie was like, oh, they're a good size for when we go on holiday, and they really are, and this is the best feeling in the world. That first scoop of an 𝑙ms cleansing balm. What I like to do is warm it up in my hands. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. And then give myself a little facial massage, always as my second cleanse after using my face halo. Yeah, it feels so good to have made a little dent in the Christmas wrapping. I feel like if I do Christmas shopping days, I might do a early-ish, I think around the 10th of November. I've got basically a whole free afternoon in London. I've purposely kept it free from meetings, and I might do a little bit of Christmas shopping in London. Let me know if there's any particular areas of London that you'd like to see me visiting, Covent Garden or around Central, or I feel like I'm always in Marylebone, but I love Marylebone as an area. Really nice boutiques around there. Gosh, this just feels so heavenly. I could just massage my face for hours and hours and hours. What I would love to do is next time I go for a treatment with Sally, I might actually just take some of this with me and ask her to give me a face massage with the cleansing balm on. Yeah, but every time I go and do some Christmas shopping, I should just do evenings of gift wrapping instead of saving it all up until last minute. So when we have had our dinner, we're going to carry on watching Traitors, which I am loving this year, absolutely loving. And we also have just finished watching a program called Fearless, and I love the main actress. I think actually tragically she's passed away since filming it. I think it's a fairly old series. They definitely have very old mobile phones, but it is the most incredible series. She's basically a detective. Actually, no, she's more like a human rights lawyer who represents people who are in very tricky situations, and she is basically trying to defend a guy who she believes wrongly went to jail for murdering a young girl. And it turns out, without it being a spoiler, that it's actually a big mess with like an American political military situation. So yeah, we've been really enjoying watching that. And what else? Obviously Downton Abbey, obviously Yellowstone. We still have not finished Yellowstone. We actually kind of put Yellowstone on pause when we started rewatching Downton Abbey, so that's in the background. And then obviously we've got 1983 or 1873, all of those ones to watch as well. I'm popping on this evening the 𝑙ms Pro Collagen Rose Oil. This is so nice, especially if you've been outside all day, either in the sun or in the cold or in the wind, and your skin just needs to be made calm. I also love this after long haul flights. I just love this on days when I want one product that's gonna hydrate, calm, relax, and really treat my skin. And because it's in the Pro Collagen range, it's got the anti-aging benefits as well. I'm not gonna lie, Botox is addictive because it really does. I didn't know this before I started getting it, but it's not only the fact that it freezes your face and therefore stops the wrinkles showing, but it also I don't know why or how, but it makes your skin glow. Like it actually, you know, sometimes I watch people on YouTube and I have nothing against this, but you can see like their ring light practically on their forehead, like their skin is so glowy. And I used to be really jealous and think, why is my skin not that glowy with all the lovely skincare that I do? And then I realised it's because of Botox. And it's only now, like having not had it for maybe 18 months, and I don't plan on getting it again anytime soon, but you can see why people get so addicted to it, but also, I don't know, I feel like it's just become so common. And I'm glad I experienced it. I'm glad that, like, I know what it does for my face, I know how much I would ever want to do it, and maybe in the future I will get it again. But at the moment I'm just quite enjoying embracing not having it. I think that with my LED and my Facial Pro Glow, that is my little extractor thing, the lovely skincare that I use, and obviously eating well. Like you can literally eat your skincare, not literally, but you can, if you're eating a diet that's rich in all the right vitamins and minerals, and also of course supplementing as well. You know, my Wild Nutrition takes care of so many things which are beneficial for my skin too, and I think it is possible to achieve lovely, glowy, healthy looking skin without the need for Botox. But I will never ever have anything against it. It's just one of those things. Anyway, that was a bit of a digression. I'm gonna go and help Charlie to cook our dinner. Oh, feels so good. I just want to keep massaging my face. Need to pop on an eye cream. Oh, something else that I have got in the habit of, speaking of anti-aging, 𝑭𝒂𝒐𝒅 Pro Collagen Neck and Décolleté Balm. It's an anti-wrinkle. I'm staying further back because it's a little bit brighter. It's a balm that you put on your neck and upper chest, and I have been getting in a good habit of using this, and it smells amazing. And Charlie's favourite is the 𝑭𝒂𝒐𝒅 Superfood Midnight Facial. He always takes this on holiday with us. Like he literally uses this every night. I think it's more of a mask, and you're meant to use it like a couple of times a week. Oh, it does say sleeping cream, but he always takes a full-size one with us on holiday, so I always end up using that whenever we're on holiday as well, and it is glorious. Just kind of plucking out all of the elements from my cupboards and telling you what I love. Anyway, right, I'm rambling. I'm gonna go downstairs. I'll see you in the morning. Time for puppy breakfast. Baby! Time for breakfast, my ween. Time for breakfast, my chick chick. There you are, baby. Are you hungry? Here we go, my sweet. There we go, baby. Dexy! We'll have your breakfast in here, Dexy. The dogs have got turkey ragu for their breakfast, and my breakfast looks like frog spawn. Delicious. Good morning, my darlings. It's the next day. I've just got back from Pilates. I did a big shop at the farm shop this morning, got a few more veggies for our lunches during the week, and as always I've just made my morning smoothie, and I have to say I actually have got this recipe down to a T. It's just so perfect and so delicious, and I mentioned it in a lot more detail in Tuesday's vlog, but it's a handful of oats, a banana, frozen or fresh, doesn't matter, a bottle of 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, sprinkling of cinnamon, a coffee. I very rarely actually finish my coffee in the mornings, so what I do now, because I hate wastage, is I put it in the fridge and then I tip it in my smoothie. Very importantly, a couple of tablespoons of my organised powder, which is my amazing organ blend. Sounds gross, absolutely isn't, doesn't alter the flavour of this whatsoever, but packs it with so much it's basically, like, because it's obviously the organs of cows. I know it's not very nice to think about, but these things are byproducts, and I eat beef, so I eat all meat. But I wouldn't want to eat a brain. I wouldn't want to eat a liver, but it's all in here and you get so much goodness from it. I think it's amazing for your immunity. And what else? Cinnamon, I think I said that. Dates, a little bit of maple syrup, a little bit of date syrup, and very importantly, a big old dollop of peanut butter. It is truly, like, when I go to workout classes in London and I order a smoothie, I always want it to taste like this, and the good ones do. I think there's one at Bamford called Club Cacao, which is very similar to this. Coffee, peanut butter, just make smoothies amazing. So this is one of the highlights of my morning. So today's one of those days, please excuse the noise of the dishwasher. I'm not gonna lie, oh my gosh, that's so noisy. Today is one of the days that has me nervous for Vlogmas. Not because I'm worrying about Vlogmas yet, but because today's one of those days where I'm like, what am I going to film? Because it's just a day when I need to like answer a million emails, just do loads of laptop admin. So editing things, uploading things, sending insights, just all of the boring stuff, which is not great for me to show you. So I'm just worried about Vlogmas when I know I've done it for many, many years now, and you guys quite like the days when I'm just at home pottering about, but I do want each video to be exciting. I'm actually going to be asking a few questions about Vlogmas on my broadcast channel on Instagram. I, as we all know, like to wait for things to be old before I try them, whether it's antiques in the home or new technology as well. Now that broadcast channels are probably about 5 years old, I'm finally hopping on the bandwagon. We've actually had one for about 2 years, and the girls in the office have been like, Josie, have you posted anything on your broadcast channel? And I've been like, no. But finally, we're actually using it, and I just want to use it as a little bit of like a feedback platform. So the thumbnails for this video we will have uploaded to the broadcast channel, because we always make like 5 or 6 and then decide which are the best ones to use. So I'm going to upload them into broadcast. Basically, you guys will have chosen the thumbnail for this video, but also I want to know your opinions on a few things for Vlogmas. So please do follow along if you're interested. But anyway, that was just me hopping on to say good day. I'm gonna crack on upstairs on my laptop, but I will catch up with you again, possibly wearing the same outfit. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get changed today. I purposely chose brown Pilates leggings so that it looked a little bit more socially acceptable to stay in my Pilates outfit all day. Anyway, laptop time, and I'll catch up with you again when I'm making lunch. I grabbed a butternut squash, so I think I'm gonna do a, oh, it's very spiky on top. I'm gonna do a ginger and butternut squash soup. Butternut squash because it's super seasonal, ginger because it's fantastic for helping us to stay flu-free at this time of year, brilliant for our immunity. So that is what's on the menu for lunch. Flu-free.
Oh,
I like that.
do you not see that the issue with that roasting thing?
Right, bugger off.
Can you see what I'm saying?
Bugger off.
You are painful. It's probably gone all over the arga.
Charlie is bullying me for my choice of roasting tin. I think it's the perfect fit.
Bigger, you must use a bigger roasting tin.
You
your audience
are
have probably grown up with you. You'll choose to use the smallest knife to cut the biggest piece of veg. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, proof. No, stop. Seriously, stop. You need. Oh,
no, it works.
Goodness.
It works just fine, buddy. Oh, go away.
Sexy.
Daddy, don't you dare be mean to my mother. Yeah. It's got to be one of the best feelings when the weather forecast says it's going to be grey and rainy all day, and then you get lovely sunshine. If I have time, I would love to come in the garden this afternoon. Being out in nature, also great for the immune system. But for now, I'm just going to grab some sage. Gosh, I can actually feel warmth on my skin. Oh, we need to get all the vitamin D we can at this time of year. Look, some of my tomatoes are still ripening. I'm so glad I didn't pull these up. I think I was a bit premature pulling up my tomatoes last year, but the beans do need to come up. And guys, I am so excited that we've seemed to have cracked the code when it comes to my kale. I don't know if you can see, but basically, I mean, it's not perfect. There's a few little nibbles, but we have got some really good kale in there. So butternut squash and sage is such a good combo. The more plants, the better. So I think I'm going to do sage croutons. Okay, so fresh sage from the garden. I'm just giving it a quick whiz under the tap. And you guys know by now how I do my croutons. It can be a slightly stale loaf of bread. I always just grab whatever's in the bread bin, cut it into slices, and then cube the slices. Olive oil, salt, and herbs. Sometimes with a tomato soup I do parmesan and honey croutons, and that is amazing. Otherwise just mixed herbs, but salt and oil are essential. 10 minutes, and then give it a stir in the oven so that they get crispy on all sides, and then another 5 or 10 minutes and they're done. My darlings, I apologise, I've not spoken to you since lunchtime. Oh, I thought I might be joined by somebody. So I made the butternut squash and ginger soup, and it was delicious with sage croutons. As you saw, it was absolutely delicious. So I'm going to light the fire this evening. It's just one of those evenings. It's been torrentially raining and definitely feels like a fire kind of evening. So I haven't spoken about our wonderful, what are they called? Log burners. Log burners properly yet this winter, and they are a big part of our home really. We've had charnwood stoves ever since 2020 when we moved in. That first winter we installed them in quite a few rooms in the house, and this one is called the Island 3. Initially we were a bit nervous that this would actually kick out too much heat, because this room is not ginormous, but then obviously there's the kitchen, I know, next door. And it does chuck out a lot of heat, but it's truly the most glorious thing in the entire world. So Charnwood Island 3 is the name of this particular wood burning stove. Why do I keep calling it a stove?
Well, it is a wood burning stove.
Is that technically called
a
stove?
wood burner, a log burner, a wood burning stove, all the same thing.
It's the heart of the home.
Back in the day, people used to use them for kettles and for cooking on.
Yeah, and we probably could boil our kettle on this, right?
Oh, definitely.
Ah. Oh, I could leave my teapot on this and it would just stay warm. Anyway, so I thought I would show you, because this could actually come in helpful. I know that many of you might have a wood burning stove at home, and you probably already know what to do, but there will be some of you that don't have something like this at home and maybe choose to go and stay in an Airbnb, and you might want to know how to light a fire, like the cabins at Soho Farmhouse. I remember when we went on my friend Robin's hen do, we stayed in one of the houses at Time, and there was a log burning stove there, and it just felt quite cool that I was the only one that knew how to properly light a fire. So it's quite like a good skill to have at this time of year. So I'll show you, I've got 2 sausages here who are going to help, but I'll show you the kind of basics on lighting a stove. So we like to obviously keep things tidy, and we've got this little set, or not so little, amazing set here. Do you say it's called Vilfarm?
No, 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅.
𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅. Swedish. This is a set from a company called 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 that Dickens is currently investigating, and this is really handy to have because you've got essentially a dustpan and brush, you've got fire tongs, you've got what I like to call a prodder to prod the logs into the right place, and it's very useful to keep your fire area organised. So I'm going to start just by clearing up the ash that's on the floor. I don't actually even know how this ash gets here because we have the doors closed, but...
And this pushes it into these.
I hope you can see okay in this lighting. Kind of answered my own question. So I've realised here there's ash on the doors. That's probably why we get so much ash falling onto the floor. So we'll clear that up pop it in here. Just keep it nice and tidy. I should have said as well, obviously, if you come and stay at Strawtop Cottages, they both have got charnwood stoves in them as well. So good to know how to sort your fire out if you stay at Strawtop. So what you will need to start with is some kindling, which are the little bits of wood like this. And what Charlie likes to do is to use it to kind of clear away some of the ash that's in the fire bed here, and it basically just kind of falls through the grates into these little cabinets down here. And when these are full, you can put these in your compost, or you can put them on your roses, because this is obviously ash and roses love ash. And also I've used it in the past for protecting lupins, because it also stops slugs from going over. So you push that in, you can push some of the ash into the grates that are below, but you do want a bed of ash to start your fire on. You don't want it to be completely clean. There's some air vents at the back that we want to make sure are clear. I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but there's a couple of vents at the back, and obviously it doesn't need to be... Hello! You're so lovely, and I adore you. Yeah, it doesn't need to be too perfect, but this is the bit that is quite important. We're going to use the kindling to make what we like to call a Jenga stack. And this is the best way to actually get your fire started. So just like a Jenga, 3 in the bottom, 3 the other way, 3 that way, 3 that way. 4 rows will be enough. Up next, we have got fire lighters. Again, we provide these for our guests at Strawtop Cottage. You can light a fire without them. You can screw up newspaper, but these just make it a million times easier. So I just like to add them into my Jenga stack, and then using a match or a lighter, get them lit. It's going to be a little bit harder to show you now because of the light, but what I've got here now is our proper wood. We get this delivered, and it's very important to make sure that the wood you pop on the fire is kiln dried. So for example, you couldn't just, go for a walk in the forest and put logs that you find on the fire, because there'll be too much moisture content in the logs. So they do need to be kiln dried logs. And the logs that we get, they're actually from local tree surgeons, and they've come from trees that were going to be cut down for forest management, or because they maybe had a disease. So tree surgeons, for example, might have cut down an ash tree which had 𝑭𝒔𝒕𝒊𝒐𝒏 disease, and that would they'll cut them down to prevent other trees from getting 𝑭𝒔𝒕𝒊𝒏, which unfortunately is a disease that we do have in our woodlands here in the UK. So that's what we are burning here. I'll give this a few minutes. The door's open, and then our stove has got that little air vent at the back, because fires do need oxygen in order to burn. Often you'll find that this stove has also got a little vent down here, so you can have more airflow or less airflow depending on how hot you want your flames to get, or if you want it to die down a little bit. And within a few minutes this will be really roaring away, and we can add on another log or two. If I forget about it, then sometimes I might need to add on another fire lighter. Yeah, that's pretty much our evening routine when it comes to lighting a stove and everything you need to know if you find one in an Airbnb. And it goes without saying that sausage dogs absolutely love a fire. They really do. And also, by the way, it really does heat up the room so much, because obviously this is it made of iron, the stove? What's it made of, do you know? Cast iron?
Yeah, cast iron.
Yeah, so obviously the iron gets really, really, really hot, and it essentially acts like a radiator. So even after the fire's gone out, it still provides so much warmth. So unlike an open fire where a lot of the heat might go up the chimney, this just continues to radiate heat for hours and hours afterwards. So a lot more efficient at keeping the room nice and warm. So there we go, that's fire starting 101 with Josie and Charlie chipping in the background. Let me know if you've stayed in a lovely Airbnb, then you've had to light a fire. How how did it go? And if you put these tips into practice, then tag me in your wonderful cozy fires on Instagram. I'd love to see your cozy setups.